Quite a while ago, I wanted to play through the entire Harry Potter series, starting with Philosopher's Stone and even playing some of the off ones, including the Lego Harry Potters. And today, that's exactly why we're here. This is Lego Harry Potter. Don't go away. So let me start by saying, as many Lego games are out there, I've never played any of them. Seriously. The only thing I know about them is that they're pretty simple and they're not really that different from each other. Which is why I'm reviewing years 1 to 4 and 5 to 7 at the same time. Because quite frankly, there is absolutely zero difference between the two games. And as expected, the game is quite simple. A 5 or 6-year-old can pick this game up and be like, hey, this is kind of easy. Progression of the story was, to my surprise, extremely faithful. Not even like just to the movies, because it is faithful to the movies, but even the movies didn't get a lot of things right that somehow the Lego Harry Potter games get right. Two examples are in the Goblet of Fire book. During the Triwizard Tournament final Triwizard task in the maze. It's not just a maze. Harry encounters a Sphinx that he has to answer a question of. You get to see the Sphinx in the Lego Harry Potter game, but you don't get to see it all in the movie. So it's crazy to me that a movie adaptation of a book got one-upped by a Lego game in, faithful to the books. Another example is after Scabbers' true identity is revealed, Sirius feels so bad he buys Ron an owl he names Pigwidgeon. That never comes up in the movies, but in the game, it's actually a playable character. Gameplay progression is pretty simple, as expected. Starting at year 1, you know 0 spells, and as you progress, you do learn more spells. One nitpick I would say is that the spell to repair a lot of things, like if there's a bunch of Lego pieces on the ground and you hold O to put it back together, it's not Reparo, which is the repair spell. It's Wingardium Leviosa, which is the levitation spell. So kind of weird there. But nonetheless, you learned a bunch of spells and it is just pure fun the whole way through. Not only do you unlock spells and stuff as you go, there's a lot of progression stuff such as Harry's Parseltongue, speaking snake language. It's very simple, but after you learn that, you can go to snake doors and put in the Simon Says sort of pattern and unlock a new area. Now, collectibles, I have a truly up and down experience with this in this game. I disliked it at the beginning, and then I liked it towards the end. Collectibles I never cared for, though, is almost all of them. Students in Peril, you get absolutely almost nothing from them other than extra studs. Gold bricks, really not too sure what they did in the game. I collected 70 out of 200 and 50 out of 200. Didn't see anything from those. Unlocking other characters and outfits was actually... I don't know, because I bought an outfit for one of the main 3 trios, right? And I couldn't equip it. Couldn't figure out how. I searched up online. I could not do anything with that. So, yeah. Studs were intimidating at first because you have a stud bar. Once you fill it up, you get true wizard, whatever, right? And at first glance, I only got like a third of the way there. And I was like, but I collected so much. And my first thought was, this is impossible. How is anyone supposed to collect 100% cut to the next game, years 5 to 7, where I am almost 100%ing every level because I'm addicted to collecting the studs. So in the end, I did like the studs because I guess I just got better at it, or I ended up liking it more, or I just was more leisurely in my time. Red bricks, though. This is the big one for me. Red bricks were my favorite thing to find and collect in the game because they actually had a difference in gameplay. Every red brick you collected had some sort of unlockable feature you could spend your studs on. You could collect a red brick that would have been unlocked for stud attraction, which is you no longer have to go directly to that stud to pick it up. You have a sort of magnetic aura field around you that just hauls them in. One of my favorites was Fast Dig. I got a red brick. It was for Fast Dig. I was like, sure, I'll spend like whatever, 65, 70,000. I had 1.6 million studs. I'll spend 70,000 on Fast Dig. And the Fast Dig was like 3 times the speed. That was good. Collectibles that alter gameplay in a fun, cool way are good. But collectibles like Students in Peril or Gold Bricks where you collect it for the sake of collecting, not really that fun. Man, look at this fat guy. Presentation. This game is at its core a Lego game. Now, of course, people are going to be like, well, duh, Lego's right there. But I truly had no idea what I was getting into as my first Lego game. Everything's Lego. Every single tiny piece in this game is purely Lego. It was cool and fun to see. It was a bit jarring with people who are bald because it's like, there's no bald. They didn't like, you know, smooth it over. It's just a Lego piece where they sort of like Lego-y piece there. But the sound effects in this game are good. I had no problems with them. Expecto Patronum sounds like Expecto Patronum. Picking up items or levitating objects or picking up studs sound different. You'll find a different sound effect for the 1,000 piece stud to the 10,000 piece stud. And overall, the sound effects are great, but that's not what I want to focus on for presentation, because truly, why I really like this game is because of the music. Some people might not like that I'm about to praise a game for its music when the music is, well, not designed by them, because they got the music from the movies. And I don't mean like, oh, they picked up the main theme, Hedwig's theme. They picked up almost every single soundtrack scene by scene into the Lego. There was even times in the game where I was just, you know, exploring along, progressing through the story, and I had to actually stop and listen to the music because there are truly a lot of great soundtracks in the Harry Potter movie franchise. And I was like, this is so important to the game's atmosphere, ambience, the feeling of being at Hogwarts. It is undeniably underestimated how important music is to games, and this is truly the #1 best trait I put to Lego Harry Potter, is the authenticity of having the music soundtrack from the movies into the game.
It's been 14 years. And still a day doesn't go by. I miss your dad.
Something I also found interesting was this game breaks the language barrier because nobody speaks a single word here. It's all, huh, hee hee. You could have 10 people in a room that speak 10 different languages all sit down and play this game, and you would all enjoy it because this game is universal. So for overall impact, I do have to say I thoroughly enjoyed every minute I played with this game. And I'm actually sad that this game's over, which is a good sign that I like a game. Although after I finished it, I never went back to collect anything else. So that is a bad sign, but that more speaks towards the game's collectible system, which I've already talked about. The game moves fast because it's fitting 7 books / 8 movies into 2 games. So all that story has to be crammed into like an hour or 2 segment. And it does a really good job of that. And because it's doing all that cramming, it moves fast, but not fast enough that the story blows right by you. Sure, there are times where I think as a Harry Potter fan, all the lore behind a scene is going to get lost in the Lego Harry Potter scene, and it does, obviously, but I mean, I can't really complain about that they're not getting all of the Harry Potter lore into a single scene where you can't talk. Boss fights, I will say, are a snore. They suck, and I'm not surprised because this game is obviously more towards the kiddie level of difficulty, I would say, due to it being a Lego game. So I don't expect Dark Souls boss fights or anything crazy, but the boss fights are basically you put the controller down until you're able to do something, and then you click the button. That's quite literally the boss fights here. The entire experience is just so fluid. It's a great mix of exploring the castle and doing your own stuff, puzzles in the story, combat, which I would highlight more, but there's not much to highlight in combat. It's just click square to fire off a beam. That's it. There is a cool combat thing that I thought was cool at the beginning where you jump into a circular sort of thing that initiates a duel, and I'm like, yo, a duel? Sign me up. And sure, the first couple duels are good, but they get boring pretty quick because all you do is you match the spell that they're doing, you shoot the spell off, and what I wish would have happened is sometimes you hit them, sometimes they dodge or block or shield, some sort of, you know, back and forth. But what happens is when you match their color, their spell, and you shoot, they instantly lock on and shoot with you. So you meet in the middle and then you spam the button. You do that 3 or 4 times depending on their health, and that's it. There's really no dance of war or fight going on here. It's just match the color. The game even surprised me sometimes in how self-aware it was. After I finished playing through years 1 to 4, the only nitpicks I really had was, well, the ghost in the castle that you follow, which, by the way, this is an extremely small nitpick because they didn't even have to have the ghost in the castle. What the ghost in the castle does is a Dead Space style navigator. He goes forward, you follow the ghost studs, and he'll show you exactly where you need to go for the next story mission. Perfect. If that wasn't in the game, I'd be lost. But a super nitpick was he was slow. You had to walk, and then wait a little bit for him to catch up, and then go ahead. And sometimes I was projecting forward where he would go. Maybe I was wrong, and I was like, you know what? Whatever. Guess what? Years 5 to 7, that dude zooms. They made the ghost super fast. And for such a tiny, small nitpick I had for the first years 1 to 4 that they fixed in 5 to 7 was crazy. So overall, this game, in short, is a simple rinse and repeat, do it all over again from start to finish. The good thing, you never get tired of it. And that's pretty much why this game gets a damn solid 9.1 out of 10. So that's it. Lego Harry Potter, down. And get ready for my next video, everyone. It is finally time to do all Harry Potter games, almost all of them, ranked. So stay tuned for that. But for now, I'm your host, SaberClan Entertainment, and I've just review. Peace out. What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half of that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.